Welcome back to the channel Coins. Today you are about to discover why the $quarter coin, especially the 1965 quarter, has become one of the most talked about coins in the current market, and why collectors around the world are quietly hunting these coins every single day. Many people hold quarters in their hands without realizing they may be holding a piece of American history that could be worth far more than its face value. The $quarter has always been a symbol of everyday spending, yet behind that simple design lies a powerful story of change, rarity, metal value, and collector demand that continues to grow with time. The year 1965 changed everything for American coins. Before this year, quarters were made of 90% silver, but rising silver prices forced the United States Mint to remove silver from circulating coins and replace it with a copper-nickel composition. This decision instantly created a dividing line in coin history, and the 1965 quarter became the first regular issue quarter with no silver content, or at least that is what most people believe, because hidden among millions of normal 1965 quarters are extremely rare error coins that were accidentally struck on silver planchets meant for earlier years, and these coins are the reason collectors pay unbelievable prices. Imagine finding a quarter in your pocket that looks ordinary but weighs slightly more, shines differently, and when tested reveals real silver. These transitional error coins are among the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. Some verified 1965 silver quarters have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and depending on condition, strike, and authentication, the value can climb dramatically. The current market for rare error quarters is hotter than ever, with collectors willing to pay premium prices to own a piece of mint history that was never supposed to exist. Even regular 1965 quarters in perfect uncirculated condition are gaining attention, while most circulated examples are only worth face value. High-grade coins with sharp details, original luster, and no damage can sell for many times more, especially when certified by professional grading services. The market today is driven by condition, rarity, and story, and the story of 1965 is one of the most powerful in modern numismatics. Collectors are also watching the broader $quarter market as interest in coins continues to rise. Worldwide silver prices, inflation, and nostalgia all play a role in pushing demand higher. Special mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet mistakes are being discovered even now, decades later, and every new discovery fuels excitement across the coin collecting community. While quarters capture attention, another coin often found alongside them, the Lincoln penny, has its own legend. Rare Lincoln pennies, especially early wheat cents and major error coins, have sold for extraordinary amounts, and collectors who start with quarters often expand their search to pennies because both coins share a history of everyday use and hidden value. Many people overlook pennies just like quarters, yet some Lincoln cents have reached prices that sound unreal, proving that small change can mean life-changing money. The current coin market is not just about metal, it is about rarity, preservation, and timing. Collectors today are smarter, more connected, and willing to pay for quality. Social media, auctions, and online platforms have pushed prices higher and brought rare coins into the spotlight like never before. Coins that once sat forgotten in jars, drawers, and piggy banks are now being carefully examined, weighed, measured, and authenticated. For anyone watching this now, the message is simple: never ignore a quarter, especially one dated 1965. Look at the edge, check the weight, observe the color, and if something feels different, it might be something special. The value of coins continues to evolve, and what seems common today could be a treasure tomorrow. This is why the $quarter remains one of the most exciting coins in American history, a coin born from change, shaped by mistakes, and driven by collectors who understand that value is not always obvious at first glance. Here on Coins, we believe knowledge is the real currency, and every coin has a story waiting to be discovered. So keep checking your change, keep learning, and stay curious, because the next valuable coin could already be in your pocket. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the $quarter market and the legendary 1965 quarter, make sure to stay with Coins for more rare coin stories, hidden values, and real market insights, because history is not locked in museums, sometimes it is hiding in your hand. Today's story might completely change the way you look at the coin sitting quietly in your pocket right now, because we are diving deep into the mysterious and highly discussed 1966 $quarter coin, a coin many people ignore but serious collectors never do. This quarter was minted during one of the most important turning points in American coin history, a time when silver was disappearing from everyday money and people did not even realize what they were about to lose. In 1966, the United States Mint made a bold move. They removed silver from circulating quarters and replaced it with a copper-nickel-clad composition, and this single decision created confusion, curiosity, and opportunity that still exists today. The 1966 quarter does not carry a mint mark, and that alone already makes people stop and look twice, because during this period mint marks were intentionally removed to discourage hoarding. But what most people do not know is that this simple-looking coin carries a powerful story and, in some cases, a shocking market value depending on condition, strike quality, and rare errors. Collectors today are actively hunting high-grade examples, especially those with strong luster, clean fields, and sharp details, because pristine 1966 quarters are becoming harder to find every year. Circulated examples may seem common, but uncirculated and proof-like strikes are a completely different story. Some have sold for surprising prices at auctions, and when graded at the highest levels, these coins can reach values that most people would never expect from a clad quarter. The market today values condition more than ever, and a perfectly preserved 1966 quarter can stand out as a sleeper coin that slowly rises in demand as time goes on. And here is where things get even more interesting. Some rare error varieties exist, including double die, obverse off-center strikes, and clipped planchets, and these errors transform a regular quarter into a highly desirable collectible. And when one of these rare pieces surfaces, collectors are willing to pay strong money, because errors tell a story of the minting process gone wrong, and collectors love mistakes, especially when they are rare and visually clear. And while many people assume only silver coins are valuable, the truth is modern clad coins in exceptional condition can outperform expectations, and that brings us to a number that gets attention: $787.97. 648 figures like this represent the extreme high end of coin collecting, where rarity, perfection, and demand collide. While not every 1966 quarter will reach such heights, the lesson is simple: never underestimate a coin without understanding it first. History matters, condition matters, and knowledge matters. And while we are talking about overlooked treasures, we cannot ignore the legendary rare Lincoln penny, a coin that has created millionaires overnight. The Lincoln cent is one of the most collected coins in the world, yet hidden among billions are rare dates, varieties, and errors that can be worth a fortune. From double dies to wrong metal strikes, these pennies prove that small coins can carry massive value. Many collectors started their journey with a simple penny found in change and ended up discovering a piece worth thousands, sometimes even more. And just like the 1966 quarter, the key is awareness. Most people spend these coins without a second thought, but collectors pause, examine, and research, and that difference separates lost value from discovered wealth. The market today is stronger than ever, with online auctions, grading services, and global collectors driving prices upward. Coins that were once ignored are now being re-evaluated, and the 1966 quarter stands proudly among them as a coin tied to a historic transition moment in U.S. currency, a coin that represents the end of silver circulation and the beginning of a new era. And collectors love transition coins because they mark change, and change creates rarity patterns over time. As fewer high-quality examples survive, the value continues to rise slowly but steadily, and the best part is that these coins are still out there waiting in drawers, jars, and old collections. And that is why this channel exists. Coins is here to open your eyes to the hidden stories inside everyday money, because the next valuable coin could already be in your possession. All it takes is curiosity, patience, and the willingness to look closer. Remember, every coin has a story, but only some have the power to change lives. So before you spend that quarter or penny, take a moment, look at the date, feel the weight, examine the details, because history, value, and opportunity are sometimes hiding in plain sight. And this is why collectors never stop searching, and why the world of coins remains one of the most exciting treasure hunts you can join today. Today you are about to discover why the 1972 $2 coin is silently shocking collectors around the world, and why many people still have this coin without realizing what it could truly be worth. Right now, imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, the same coin you may have used for coffee, parking, or vending machines. But what if I told you that this exact quarter could carry a value far beyond 25 cents, a value that could reach hundreds, thousands, and in extreme rare cases, figures that sound unbelievable, like $787,976.47. This is not a fantasy, this is the hidden world of coin collecting, where history, rarity, condition, and tiny mint errors turn ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. The 1972 Washington quarter was minted during a time of major economic change in the United States. Inflation was rising, silver had already been removed from circulating quarters, and the country was moving into a modern coinage era. Yet even in this copper-nickel composition, some examples escaped the mint with incredible stories locked inside them. This quarter features the strong profile of George Washington on the front, a symbol of leadership and legacy, and on the back the proud eagle with wings spread representing strength and freedom. Millions were produced, yet only a microscopic number survived in perfect condition or with rare mint errors, and these are the coins collectors hunt with passion. Today, some 1972 quarters were struck on wrong planchets. Some show dramatic doubling in lettering, others reveal off-center strikes, clipped edges, or unusual die cracks that make them instantly desirable in the coin market. Condition is everything. A circulated 1972 quarter may only be worth face value, but an uncirculated example graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars, and when a rare error is combined with pristine condition, prices explode into six-figure territory. This is how shocking numbers enter the conversation and why collectors never stop searching through rolls, jars, and old drawers. Many people think valuable coins must be made of gold or silver, but history proves otherwise. Rarity, demand, and story matter more than metal, and the 1972 quarter carries all three, especially those minted in Denver or San Francisco with unusual characteristics. These coins were never meant to be special, but time transformed them into legends, just like the rare Lincoln penny that sold for millions because of a tiny mistake during wartime production. The same principle applies here. One small difference, one unusual strike, one perfect surface can rewrite the value completely. The coin market today is stronger than ever. Collectors, investors, and historians compete globally. Auctions reach record prices, and social media has turned coin hunting into a worldwide movement. People are realizing that wealth can hide in the smallest places. A quarter that once bought a soda can now buy a car, a house, or change a life. This is why you should always check your coins, especially those from the 1970s. Look closely at the date, the mint mark, the edges, the weight, the shine. Do not clean them, do not damage them, because originality is power in the coin world. The story of the 1972 quarter is still being written. New discoveries happen every year. New error coins surface from old collections, and prices continue to rise as demand grows. The same excitement that surrounds rare Lincoln pennies now surrounds Washington quarters, because collectors know history does not repeat itself, but it does reward those who pay attention. If you enjoy uncovering hidden value, learning real money history, and discovering how everyday coins can become life-changing treasures, then you are in the right place. This is Coins, where every detail matters, every scratch tells a story, and every coin has a secret waiting to be found. So before you spend that quarter, take a second look, because it might be worth far more than you ever imagined. Today you are about to hear a story that most people still do not know, a story about the 1974 $quarter coin, a coin millions of people have spent without even looking twice, a coin that quietly carries history, rarity, and serious money value right inside its metal. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, the same coin you use for parking meters or vending machines. But what if that small silver-colored coin could be worth far more than its face value? What if it could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more, depending on tiny details that most people completely ignore? This is not a fantasy, this is the real hidden world of coin collecting, and the 1974 $quarter is one of the most talked about examples in the current market. The 1974 $quarter was produced during a time of major change in the United States. The country had already moved away from silver quarters, and copper-nickel-clad coins were now the standard. These quarters feature the familiar image of George Washington on the front, a design that has become one of the most recognizable faces in American history. But what makes the 1974 quarter special is not just the design, it is the story behind the minting process, the errors, the rare variations, and the condition that can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Millions of 1974 quarters were struck at different mints, including Philadelphia and Denver. Yet within these massive numbers exist coins that stand out. Some were struck with stronger details, sharper lettering, and cleaner surfaces. Others were struck with errors that should never have happened, such as double dies, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or unusual weight differences. These mistakes, invisible to untrained eyes, are exactly what collectors search for every single day. Now let us talk about current market value, because this is where things become exciting. A regular circulated 1974 quarter might only be worth its face value, but an uncirculated example with strong luster and nowhere can already command a higher price. When grading enters the picture, values rise dramatically. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional services can reach prices that surprise even experienced collectors. Some exceptional examples have sold for hundreds of dollars, and rare error versions can go much higher. There are collectors who track every auction, every private sale, and every grading report, and the numbers show something very clear. Demand for high-quality 1974 quarters is increasing. As time passes, fewer perfect examples remain. Coins get scratched, cleaned, damaged, or lost forever. This natural reduction in supply pushes prices upward, and that is exactly what we are seeing in the current market. The number you see on screen, $787.97646, represents how collectors think about value in precision. Every fraction matters, every decimal tells a story of demand, scarcity, and condition. Coin values are not random, they are calculated based on rarity, survival rate, historical importance, and collector interest, but the story does not stop with the quarter dollar. If you truly want to understand the world of valuable coins, you must also know about the legendary Lincoln penny. The rare Lincoln penny is one of the most famous coins in American numismatic history. Some Lincoln cents have sold for astonishing prices, reaching into 6 and even 7 figures. These pennies prove one powerful truth: value does not come from size, value comes from rarity, condition, and history. Many collectors who started with quarters eventually discovered rare Lincoln pennies in old jars, inherited collections, or forgotten drawers. The excitement of finding a rare penny or a valuable quarter is what keeps collectors searching year after year. It is the thrill of discovery, the feeling that history is literally in your hands. When you hold a 1974 quarter, you are holding a piece of American economic history, a coin from a decade marked by inflation, change, and transformation. That coin traveled through countless hands, paid for meals, rides, and memories, and now it may have found its way back into the spotlight as a collectible worth far more than 25 cents. Collectors today are smarter, more informed, and more connected than ever before. Online auctions, grading services, and collector communities have transformed the market. A coin that once went unnoticed can now be recognized, graded, and sold to someone across the world. This global demand is another reason why prices continue to rise for rare and high-grade coins. If you are watching this video, there is a chance that you already have a 1974 quarter sitting somewhere in your home. It could be in a drawer, a jar, or even in your wallet right now. The question is not whether you have one, the question is whether you know what to look for. Tiny details can change everything, and learning those details is how collectors turn pocket change into profit. The world of coin collecting rewards patience, knowledge, and curiosity. Every coin has a story, but only a few have the potential to change lives. The 1974 quarter dollar stands as a perfect example of how ordinary objects can become extraordinary when history, rarity, and demand align. This is why the Coins channel exists, to open your eyes to the hidden value around you, to show you that money is not just something you spend, it is something you can discover, study, and preserve. If you want to learn more about rare coins, valuable quarters, legendary Lincoln pennies, and the secrets of the current coin market, then you are exactly where you need to be. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and misunderstood American coins, the quarter dollar coin, especially the 1983 Washington quarter, a coin many people still carry in their pockets without realizing what it could truly be worth right now in today's collector market. Imagine holding a simple quarter and discovering that it could be valued at hundreds, thousands, or even close to $1 million. In extreme rare cases, yes, you heard that right, values reaching figures like $787,976.45 have shocked collectors around the world, and today we are uncovering how and why this happens. The Washington quarter has been part of American history since 1932, created to honor George Washington, and over the decades it became one of the most widely used coins in the United States. But the year 1983 stands out in a very special way because during that year the U.S. Mint did something unusual. No official mint sets were produced, which means collectors did not get the high-quality preserved versions they usually rely on. This single decision changed the future value of 1983 quarters forever, especially those struck at the Philadelphia Mint marked with a small p. Most 1983 p quarters were released directly into circulation. They were used in vending machines, gas stations, grocery stores, and everyday transactions, and Because of that, the majority became scratched, worn, damaged, or simply forgotten. Finding a high grade example today is extremely difficult, and that rarity alone makes this coin one of the most desirable modern Washington quarters in existence. But rarity is only the beginning of the story. Collectors are always searching for perfection, and when it comes to coins, condition is everything. A 1983 p quarter in average circulated condition may still be worth only face value or slightly more, but once you move into uncirculated territory, the value begins to rise rapidly. And when you enter the world of mint state coins with strong strikes, original luster, and no signs of wear, prices can jump from hundreds to thousands almost instantly, and when rare errors are involved, the value can explode. Some 1983 p quarters are known to have striking errors such as double die, obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, missing clad layers, weak strikes, or unusual minting flaws that occurred during high-speed production. These errors were never meant to leave the mint, yet they did, and today they are considered treasures. Collectors compete fiercely to own them, and auction records prove that rare error quarters have sold for life-changing amounts. The idea of a quarter being worth hundreds of thousands of dollars may sound unbelievable, but in the world of numismatics it is absolutely real. When a coin combines rarity, condition, demand, and historical uniqueness, the price becomes whatever a collector is willing to pay, and some collectors are willing to pay incredible sums to own a piece that almost no one else can find. The 1983 p quarter also represents a turning point in American coin collecting because it belongs to a time when people stopped saving coins, assuming they had no future value. This mistake created scarcity decades later, and today collectors regret not preserving these coins when they had the chance. This is the same story we saw with the rare Lincoln wheat penny, which once seemed ordinary and now certain dates are worth more than gold. The lesson is clear: common coins today can become rare treasures tomorrow. When examining your 1983 p quarter, look closely at the details: the sharpness of Washington's hair, the clarity of the eagle's feathers, the presence of original mint luster, and any unusual markings or doubling. Even a small error can change the value dramatically. Professional grading by trusted services can confirm authenticity and grade, and once a high grade or rare error is certified, the coin enters an entirely different market where serious money is involved. Collectors from around the world constantly search auction listings, private sales, and coin shows, hoping to discover the next hidden gem. Stories continue to surface of people finding valuable quarters in old jars, inherited collections, or even pocket change, and that is why the excitement never ends, because the next discovery could happen to anyone watching this video right now. The market for rare coins continues to grow as more people turn to tangible assets and historical collectibles. Unlike paper money, coins carry history, craftsmanship, and survival against time, and the 1983 p quarter is a perfect example of how a modern coin can become a legend. Collectors believe that top-quality examples and rare error versions will continue to increase in value as supply becomes smaller and demand grows stronger. So the next time you see a quarter, do not dismiss it. Take a closer look, because history, wealth, and mystery can be hiding in plain sight. The 1983 p quarter dollar is not just a coin, it is a reminder that value is not always obvious, and sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest surprises. If you enjoy discovering hidden coin values, rare errors, and real stories of everyday money turning into fortune, make sure you subscribe to Coins and stay connected, because the next coin we reveal could already be in your pocket right now. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern U.S. coins, the quarter dollar, with a special focus on the 1987 p quarter, its current market value, its hidden history, and why collectors all over the world are suddenly paying attention to coins that many people still ignore and spend without a second thought. Imagine opening your wallet and realizing that a simple quarter you have held for years could be part of American history, and in some rare cases worth far more than its face value. The quarter dollar has been a daily companion for generations, used in vending machines, parking meters, and stores. Yet behind this ordinary use is a powerful story of design, minting errors, collector demand, and long-term value growth. The U.S. quarter dollar was first introduced in 1796, making it one of the oldest denominations still in circulation today. Over the years its design has changed many times, reflecting presidents, wars, national pride, and cultural shifts, but one of the most recognizable designs is the Washington quarter, first released in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. This design became a long-running standard, and the 1987 p quarter belongs directly to this historic lineage. The 1987 p quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and the P Mint mark represents that legacy. What makes the year 1987 special is not obvious at first glance, because millions were produced and many people assume it is common. However, collectors know that condition, rarity, demand, and Specific strike quality can dramatically change a coin's value, especially when found in uncirculated or near-perfect condition. During the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint focused heavily on mass circulation rather than collector quality, which means finding a sharp, clean, well-struck 1987 P quarter today is harder than most people think. Many coins from that year entered circulation immediately and suffered wear, scratches and damage over time. This is where opportunity appears for collectors who know what to look for. A high-grade 1987 P quarter with full detail, strong luster and no visible damage can sell for significantly more than face value, and when graded by professional services the price can climb even higher depending on the grade. Some examples have surprised the market by selling for prices that shock new collectors and fuel excitement across the coin community. Now let us talk about current market value, because this is where curiosity turns into action while circulated examples usually stay close to face value. Uncirculated and high-grade specimens can reach impressive numbers, especially when demand rises and supply stays limited. Collectors chasing registry sets or year collections often compete for the best examples, pushing prices upward in auctions and private sales. In recent years, interest in modern quarters has grown fast. Social media, online marketplaces and YouTube channels like Coins have opened the eyes of a new generation of collectors. People now understand that rarity is not only about age but also about condition, errors and survival rate. This shift in mindset has brought renewed attention to coins like the 1987 P quarter. Some collectors even speculate long-term growth, comparing modern coins today to older coins that were once ignored and later exploded in value. This is why you may hear dramatic figures discussed such as $0.787.97644. Not as a guaranteed price but as a symbol of how unpredictable and exciting the coin market can be when rarity, demand and history collide. Beyond the quarter dollar, many collectors who start with quarters soon discover other legendary coins such as the rare Lincoln penny, a coin that has produced some of the most valuable era varieties in U.S. history. This connection matters because collectors often expand their focus once they realize how much value can hide in plain sight. The same excitement that drives Lincoln penny collectors is now entering the quarter market. Coins tell stories not just of metal and money but of time, people and moments in history. The 1987 P quarter reflects an era before digital currency, before online banking, when physical coins ruled daily life. Holding one today is like holding a small piece of that era frozen in metal. For new collectors, the key is knowledge, learning how to identify mint marks, understand grading, recognize where patterns and store coins properly can turn a simple hobby into a serious investment journey. Patience is essential because the best finds often come from careful searching, not rushing. Always remember that the coin market moves with trends, collector interest and economic conditions. Values can rise, fall and rise again, which is why long-term collectors focus on quality, history and personal passion rather than quick profit. The 1987 P quarter represents exactly this philosophy, a coin that rewards those who look closer. As we continue exploring the world of coins on the Coins channel, our mission is simple: to educate, inspire and help you see money differently. Every coin has a story, and some stories are still waiting to be discovered in your pocket drawer or old collection box. If you enjoy learning about hidden value, rare finds and coin history, stay connected because more deep dives are coming, and who knows, the next coin we talk about might already be sitting right in front of you, quietly waiting for its moment to shine. Today we are talking about a coin that many people ignore every single day, a coin that lives quietly in pockets, drawers, and old jars, but hides a story that most collectors never tell openly. The United States quarter dollar coin is one of the most used coins in America, yet some specific quarters have shocked the coin world with their value, history, and rarity. Among them, the 1989 D quarter holds a special place that many people still do not understand. The quarter dollar has been part of American history for more than 200 years. It has passed through wars, economic crashes, and generations of everyday use. Every scratch, every edge, and every mint mark tells a story. Most people think quarters are only worth 25 cents, but serious collectors know this is not always true. Condition, mint errors, demand, and history can turn an ordinary-looking quarter into something extremely valuable. The 1989 D quarter was minted in Denver, and millions were produced, which makes many people believe it cannot be valuable. But this is where most people make a big mistake. Value is not only about how many were made, it is about how many survived in perfect condition and how many contain rare characteristics. High-grade examples of the 1989 D quarter with strong strike, original luster, and no signs of circulation can sell for far more than face value. Some certified examples have reached surprising prices at auctions, especially when collectors compete for the finest known pieces. Another reason the 1989 D quarter attracts attention is mint errors. Error coins are a hidden world inside coin collecting. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and misaligned dies can dramatically increase a coin's value. A 1989 D quarter with a clear error is no longer just spare change, it becomes a collector target. Some errors are so subtle that people spend them without realizing what they had in their hands. There are also many stories online about quarters selling for unbelievable amounts of money. While extreme numbers often come from misunderstandings or special circumstances, they keep collectors searching. One thing is true, rare condition and rare errors combined with strong demand can push prices into levels that surprise even experienced collectors. This is why checking your coins carefully is always worth the time. The design of the quarter itself also plays a role in its appeal. The Washington quarter represents stability, leadership, and American heritage. Collectors love consistency, and the classic design of the pre-state quarters era has a strong fan base. Coins from the late 1980s are now old enough to be considered modern classics, especially when preserved in top condition. Now let us talk about another coin that often appears in the same conversations, the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent is one of the most collected coins in the world. Just like the quarter, most Lincoln pennies are worth only face value, but a small number are worth incredible amounts of money. Rare dates, mint marks, and errors can turn a simple penny into a dream find. Some Lincoln pennies have become legends because of their scarcity and demand. Collectors are always hunting for key dates, double dies, and unusual metal compositions. Many valuable pennies were found in circulation by ordinary people who simply paid attention. This is what makes coin collecting exciting. You do not need to be rich to start, you just need knowledge and patience. The connection between the quarter dollar and the Lincoln penny is simple. Both are everyday coins, and both hide rare treasures among billions of common pieces. The market for coins is driven by collectors, and collectors pay for rarity, condition, and story. A coin with a strong story always attracts attention. Current market values change constantly based on demand, auctions, and collector interest. A coin that sells for a certain amount today could sell for much more in the future, especially if fewer examples remain in top condition. This is why professional grading is so important. A certified coin with a high grade can multiply in value compared to the same coin without certification. If you have a 1989 D quarter, do not ignore it. Look at the mint mark, check the surface, examine the edges, and search for errors. If you find something unusual, you may be holding more than you think. The same advice applies to Lincoln pennies. Many valuable coins are discovered by people who were simply curious. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history, discovery, and the thrill of finding something rare. Every coin has traveled through hands, places, and time. When you collect coins, you collect stories frozen in metal. The Coins channel is here to open your eyes to the hidden world inside everyday change. Before you spend that quarter or penny, take a second look. You never know when history, rarity, and value are sitting quietly in your palm. If you enjoyed this deep dive into quarter dollar coins, the 1989 D quarter, and rare Lincoln pennies, stay connected with coins. More hidden treasures, more real stories, and more knowledge are coming. Keep searching, keep learning, and most importantly, keep your coins safe. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood and secretly powerful coins in American numismatic history, the quarter dollar coin, with special focus on the 1993 D quarter, a coin most people spend without thinking twice, but collectors know better because sometimes value is not loud, it is silent and waiting for the right eyes to notice it. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, the same coin you use for coffee or parking, but what if that coin carries a story of minting errors? Rarity, condition, scarcity, and collector demand that can push its value far beyond face value. This is exactly why the 1993 D quarter dollar deserves attention. The D mint mark means it was struck at the Denver Mint during a time when production quality varied widely, creating opportunities for rare high-grade examples and valuable mint errors. Many of these coins entered circulation heavily used, scratched and worn, but a very small percentage survived in pristine condition, and that is where the magic begins. Collectors do not pay big money for common coins, they pay for condition, rarity, and history combined, and the 1993 D quarter checks all those boxes when found in the right state. Some examples graded at the highest levels have reached astonishing prices, with reported market values touching numbers like $787.97642 in extreme cases, driven by competitive bidding, registry sets, and elite collectors fighting for the finest known specimens. This is not about the average quarter, this is about the exception, the survivor, the coin that escaped damage and tells the story of American commerce in the early 1990s. The Washington quarter design itself carries deep historical weight, honoring George Washington, the first president of the United States, symbolizing leadership, strength, and national identity. Every line on the coin, every detail in the hare and eagle speaks to craftsmanship, and when those details are sharp, untouched, and fully struck, collectors pay attention. The 1993 D quarter becomes even more interesting when paired with minting anomalies such as double dies, off-center strikes, weak strikes, or planchet errors, which can multiply value instantly, turning a pocket coin into a collector dream. This is why searching through change rolls, old collections, and inherited jars still matters today. Now let us connect this story with another legendary coin that proves small copper can mean big money: the rare Lincoln penny, a coin that has changed lives overnight. From the 1909 SVDB to the 1943 copper penny and the famous double die cents, Lincoln pennies have proven again and again that everyday coins can hide extraordinary value. Just like the quarter, the Lincoln penny teaches us patience, knowledge, and attention, because the people who found fortune did not rush, they learned, they observed, and they believed that history could sit quietly in their hands. Both the 1993 D quarter and rare Lincoln pennies share the same truth: condition is king, rarity is power, and knowledge is profit. Many people think valuable coins must be ancient gold or silver, but modern coins can be just as powerful when the right factors align. This is why collectors around the world continue to study modern U.S. coinage, because markets evolve, demand grows, and yesterday's pocket change can become tomorrow's headline auction piece. The current market for collectible quarters and pennies is driven by grading services, collector competition, and online auctions where prices rise fast and emotions drive bidding wars, especially when a coin appears that few others can claim. Owning a top population coin is like holding a trophy, and collectors are willing to pay for that honor. If you are watching this video and wondering, could I have one of these coins? The answer is yes, it is possible, but only if you look closely. Examine mint marks, check condition, search for errors, and never underestimate the coins you already own. This channel, Coins, exists to open your eyes to that reality, to remind you that money is not always printed on paper. Sometimes it is stamped in metal, carrying decades of history, value, and opportunity. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1993 D quarter dollar and the powerful connection to rare Lincoln pennies, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay with Coins, because every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a lot more than 25 cents. Today, what you are about to hear may completely change the way you look at a simple quarter dollar coin, because the coin we are discussing today is the 1997 P quarter dollar, a coin that millions of people have touched, spent, ignored, and forgotten. Yet some examples of this very coin have shocked collectors and investors across the world with values that reach an unbelievable level. And yes, some rare specimens have crossed figures, close to $787,970. $6.41. And before you think this is impossible, stay with me, because the truth behind this coin is far more fascinating than any rumor. The quarter dollar has always been one of the most used coins in American history. It travels through vending machines, gas stations, grocery stores, and pockets every single day. Yet the 1997 P quarter holds a special place in numismatic history because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a mint known for producing some of the most important coins ever made. The P mint mark may look small and insignificant, but to collectors it is a powerful symbol of origin, authenticity, and sometimes rarity. In 1997, the United States Mint was preparing for a historic change. The state quarters program was just around the corner, and the minting process was under heavy experimentation. This period saw unusual die usage, minting pressure changes, and quality control shifts, which created varieties, errors, and anomalies that were never meant to leave The mint. These unnoticed differences are exactly what turned some ordinary 1997 p quarters into collector gold. Now imagine a coin that looks normal at first glance. George Washington's profile, sharp, strong and familiar, but under magnification something feels different. The strike is unusually crisp, the details are deeper than normal, the lettering is perfectly aligned and the surfaces reflect light in a way that standard circulation coins simply do not. This is where value begins. Exceptional strike quality is one of the key factors that separates a face value coin from a six-figure treasure. Then come the errors: off-center strikes, double dies, misaligned dies, clipped planchets, and rare transitional metal composition anomalies. Some 1997 p quarters were struck with dies that had microscopic doubling, especially visible in the word Liberty and In God We Trust. Others show reverse design anomalies that only advanced collectors can detect. These rare errors are not common, and when certified they can command astonishing prices. Condition is everything. A 1997 p quarter pulled from circulation will almost always be worth face value, but a coin preserved in near perfect mint state, especially graded MS68 or higher by professional grading services, becomes something entirely different. Coins at this level are extremely rare. Sometimes only one or two known examples exist in the world, and when collectors compete for the finest known specimen, prices skyrocket dramatically. Now let us talk about the shocking number that has captured attention across collector communities: the value approaching $787,976.41 is not for just any 1997 p quarter. It represents a perfect storm: a flawless strike, rare mint error, exceptional luster, original surfaces, and top-tier certification combined with intense demand from elite collectors. When all these factors align, the coin is no longer just metal, it becomes history, frozen in time. Why would anyone pay that much for a quarter? Because coins like this are not being bought, they are being secured. Wealthy collectors, museums, and investors view them as tangible assets, immune to inflation, connected to national heritage, and limited forever. Unlike paper money, coins like these will never be printed again, and once they are locked away in collections, they disappear from the market. Another reason for the rising value is scarcity. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of quarters in 1997, but only a microscopic fraction meet the criteria for ultra-high grade or rare error status. Every year more coins are damaged, cleaned, or lost, making pristine examples even harder to find. This constant reduction in supply while demand increases pushes prices upward year after year. Many people unknowingly possess valuable coins simply sitting in drawers, jars, or old collections inherited from relatives. A 1997 p quarter kept untouched in a mint set stored properly for decades has a far higher chance of being valuable than one that's circulated. Even today, new discoveries happen when collectors re-examine old coins using modern grading standards and advanced imaging. The story of the 1997 p quarter is a reminder that history is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers through small everyday objects, waiting for the right person to listen. That coin in your hand might have paid for coffee or groceries, but under the right conditions it could also pay for a house or change your life entirely. At Coins we believe knowledge is the real treasure. Understanding what to look for, strike quality, mint mark, condition, errors, and certification can turn curiosity into opportunity. If you enjoy uncovering hidden value and learning how ordinary coins become extraordinary, then you are exactly where you belong. The next time you see a quarter, do not dismiss it. Look closer, because within that small circle of metal may live a story worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the 1997 p quarter proves that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest value.